Hello and welcome to your daily sports update for March 12th, 2024. My name is Lewis and we're here to provide you a quick snapshot of the top stories in sports, kind of give you some water cooler talk. Hopefully it'll be a help to you. I'm excited because hopefully tomorrow when we do this, I'm going to actually have an introductory little clip to bring us into this and maybe even an outro as well. Couldn't get it done before today, so just excited. We're moving forward and seeing how we can do. Let's go ahead and get started with football free agency day 2. If you remember, yesterday was quite a ride with all the different hires and let goes, well, so to speak, or we'll say signings and releases of different players. Well, it continued on. This morning, it's reported that the Steelers are trading wide receiver Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers. Pittsburgh, you'll remember they just recently signed or agreed to sign Russell Wilson as their starting quarterback and getting rid of a receiver. They are trading to the Panthers for cornerback Dante Jackson and a pick swap. The Steelers are going to give the Panthers a 7th-round pick in addition to the wide receiver, and they will receive a 6th-round pick with their defensive back. Now, Johnson was the most experienced wide receiver, longest tenured one, if you want to call it, on that team. He's in the final year of his contract, and so we'll see what happens there. In other free agency news, the 49ers are signing Charger linebacker Eric Kendricks. So he's leaving Los Angeles and moving over to San Francisco. You might remember the name Danielle Hunter. He was the pass rusher extraordinaire for the Minnesota Vikings. He agreed to sign with the Houston Texans. So good for him. And one more piece. Let's see. We got a couple things. C.J. Gardner-Johnson signed a 3-year, $33 million deal with the Eagles. I don't know if this happened yesterday or this was late yesterday, the day before. But Derrick Henry, the former beast of a running back for the Tennessee Titans, is now going to take his beast self over to be a running back for the Baltimore Ravens. So that'll be interesting to see how that one works out. I like Derrick Henry, and I think he'll be a good fit there to give them an opportunity to run the ball. I saw something on, I don't know if it was a YouTube video or so, that over the last 5 seasons, the leading rusher for the Ravens has not been a running back, but has been Lamar Jackson. Now, as great as he is and incredible he is as an athlete, you don't want your quarterback being that leading rusher. You would like it to be a running back. So hopefully that'll work out well for Derrick Henry. The last bit of NFL news we'll mention, Patrick Mahomes agreed to restructure his contract. So it actually created $21.6 million in salary cap space for the Chiefs as they seek to become the first ever team, at least in my lifetime, to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. He was actually scheduled to count more than $58 million against the salary cap before he restructured it. Not his first time that he's done it, and so it's amazing what happens, how you're able to keep a team together when there's finances available. And usually your top player, if he's willing to make sacrifices, it will pay dividends. And I have confidence in Andy Reid and his staff that they'll do that. Let's talk on the ice because we've got a couple games that went on. Actually, quite a big slate of games that went. So we'll try to hit these really quick. The Buffalo Sabres score 7 goals in the first 2 periods to win 7-3 at home against the Detroit Red Wings. The Montreal Canadiens with a shutout, getting 3 goals in the first period at home to beat the Columbus Blue Jackets by that score 3-0. The Ottawa Senators in overtime win 2-1 at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Philadelphia Flyers, with a third-period goal, win 3-2 at home against the Sharks. The New York Rangers scored a goal in the first period, and it held on all the way through to win at Carolina with the Hurricanes 1-0. The Florida Panthers, winners 4-3 at home or on the road to beat Dallas The Panthers scored all 4 goals in the last 2 periods, including 3 in the third, to win that game. The Minnesota Wild win 4-1 at home against the Coyotes. The Chicago Blackhawks, it was 7-2 winners at home against the Ducks. Colorado Avalanche win at Calgary 6-2. And the Golden Knights win 5-4 in overtime in Seattle. We'll go ahead and do a quick scope of your playoff standings. Right now in the Atlantic, Florida has 94 points, lead by 3 points over Boston and by 12 points over the Toronto Maple Leafs. In the Metropolitan, the Rangers have 90 points and a 6-point lead over Carolina and a 14-point lead over the Philadelphia Flyers. In the Western Conference, Dallas has 89 points, Winnipeg and Colorado both with 87 points. And in the Pacific, Vancouver has 91 points, Edmonton 10 behind with 81, and then the Los Angeles Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights both tied with 77 points. All right, we are still in the midst of conference tournament season for both men and women's college basketball. We'll go ahead and start with the women and their top 25 games. Number 5, Texas in the Big 12 final. Winners at home 70-53 against Iowa State. Texas's Madison Booker scored 26 points and 6 rebounds to help lead the win there. Number 21, UNLV reaches the Mountain West Conference Championship final with a 62-52 win over Colorado State. Amarachi Kimpson, leading scorer for UNLV, scored 18 points. And in the upset of the day, I don't even know what their mascot is. The Portland Pilots win against Gonzaga 67-66 to win the West Coast Conference tournament and seal their way into the big dance. Gonzaga, only their 3rd loss on the season as they were ranked 14th. They were undefeated in conference. In fact, they still ended undefeated in conference play and just lost the tournament game. For Portland, Lucy Cochran had 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks to help lead her team to the big championship victory. As we get closer again, we'll have a bracket challenge that we'll do for the ladies and for the men's game. And we'll go over that next week because the Selection Sunday will be this coming Sunday. Let's talk some men's. There was only one conference game that involved ranked teams. So we'll go ahead and bring that up here. Although I will mention South Dakota State earns the Summit title in their 7th ever career NCAA berth. Also for Oakland, they win the Horizon League title game. And they have a player, I got to get his name, Trey Townsend, led his team to victory with 38 points. And he had 16 of those points in the last 6 minutes and 7 in the last 3 minutes. And his 38 points were the most in the Horizon League tournament championship game since 1996. So congratulations to Trey Townsend and Oakland as they seal themselves a chance to go to the conference or to the big dance. Now, the one tournament game I mentioned, or the one ranked game I was telling you about, number 21, St. Mary's, winners against number 17, Gonzaga, 69-60. Gonzaga had a rough day today, or yesterday. St. Mary's was led in scoring by Mitchell Saxon, who had 19 points. He also had 15 rebounds to lead St. Mary's to the upset victory over Gonzaga. Both teams had come in at, St. Mary's ended 26-7, Gonzaga 25-7. Gonzaga had only lost 2 conference games. St. Mary's only 1, and St. Mary's held on to win the conference tournament. Those are your men's tournament games so far. And then we're going to just talk some NBA really quick. I will say OG Anunoby returned for the Knicks. Steph was out against the Mavs, but he's supposed to practice here at the end of the week and hopefully rejoin the team shortly. Otto Porter, the former NBA champion, retiring after 11 seasons and 6 NBA teams. And when we talk about the Clippers game here in a second, do note, I'll remind you that Kawhi ended up leaving early with a back injury after just 12 minutes of play, and he missed what ended up being a huge comeback. So let's go ahead and talk the scores. Starting with the Knicks, we told you OG Anunoby came back, and he helped lead the Knicks to a 106-79 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. Knicks were led in scoring by Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, who both scored 20 points. Josh actually provided a triple-double as he had 19 rebounds and 10 assists. Jalen also provided 9 assists as well. I told you Anunoby came back, had 14 points in 29 minutes of play. For the Sixers, they were led in scoring by Kelly Oubre, who had 19 points, 6 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey, back again, scored 17 points. Not enough, though, as the team only mustered 79 points and lose 106-79 to the Knicks. The Memphis Grizzlies with a 109-97 victory at home against the Wizards. I will tell you, I don't know this player that led the team in scoring. It was Trey Jameson, who had 24 points and 6 rebounds. They also got 19 points off the bench from G.G. Jackson and 16 points. Here's another one of my favorites. Jake LaRavia scored 16 off the bench for Memphis. For Washington, Kyle Kuzma provided 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. They also got 22 points from Corey Kispert, but it wasn't enough. Memphis 109, Washington 97. Indiana Pacers with a big win against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 121-111 in Oklahoma City. Miles Turner, the big man for the Pacers, had 24 points. He also chipped in 4 blocks. They got 18 points from Tyrese Halliburton, who also had 12 assists. And Pascal Siakam, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Kind of weird. I mentioned OG Anunoby for the Knicks, and then Pascal. I'm so used to thinking of them as Raptors. And if we go back to Philly, I know he's not there, but Kyle Lowry, too. So it's the old Raptors team just all separated and torn apart there. For Oklahoma City, they got 30 points from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He also had 11 rebounds. Chet Holmgren, 15 points and 13 rebounds. Lou Dort added 18, but it wasn't enough. Again, Indiana 121, Oklahoma City 111. The Houston Rockets beat the San Antonio Spurs 103-101 in San Antonio. Fred VanVleet, we were just talking about him before, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists for the Rockets. They also got 16 points from Jalen Green. For San Antonio, Trey Jones, 24 points, 5 assists, 21 points from Jeremy Sochan, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. And Victor, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists in 31 minutes of play. Big win for Houston, 103-101. I say a big win. They were only 5 games under 500 and technically still could make the playoffs. It would be a stretch, though, especially unless Al Shengun can make it back to playing. We'll see what happens for them, but they got the win. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Clippers. I told you this was a big game, a shocker, actually, as the Clippers were leading early on in the first period, 34-21 at the end of one. Timberwolves slowly chipped away, had a big third quarter where Timberwolves outscored the Clippers 29-15, and in the fourth period outscored them 34-22 to come up with the 118-100 win. Anthony Edwards was a man on fire as he scored 37 points. He also had 8 rebounds. 23 points came from Mike Conley and 28 points off the bench from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It's a name I hadn't mentioned so far this year, so congrats to the Timberwolves as they improved to 45-21. For the Clippers, as was said earlier, Kawhi played 12 minutes, had 6 points before he left with back spasms. They did get 22 points from Paul George. And they also had 12 from James Harden with 7 assists. Not enough. Go Minnesota 118. Not go LA Clippers 100. Something else to note, Rudy Gobert did leave this game injured when he was going up for a rebound and he had some kind of chest injury. There's no reports talking about what may have happened, so we'll wait and see what happens there. The Sacramento Kings with a big 129-94 win at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox, 29 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. They also got from the triple-double man himself, another close to triple-double. They got 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. They also got 25 points off the bench from Malik Monk to get their 129. Giannis for the Bucks got 30 points, 13 rebounds. Dame Lillard struggled from the field, 2 of 12 overall, 1 of 6 from 3. Only had 10 points. They also got 11 points each from Malik Beasley and from Bobby Portis. Those are your double-figure scores. Well, yeah, those are your double-figure scores. And that's why Sacramento wins by 35 points, 129-94. And last but not least, my Boston Celtics pull out another win, winning 123-107 in Utah against the Jazz. Jaylen Brown didn't play in this game, so Jason Tatum picked up the slack, had 38 points, 6 rebounds, including 13 of 25 from the field. They also got 24 points from Derek White. The other starters, all 3, had double figures. Drew Holiday, 16, Sam Hauser, 14, and Luke Cornett, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists for the big man. Overall, for Utah, they got 26 points from Keontae George, and he got 20 points from Colin Sexton. They also got 21 off the bench from Jordan Clarkson. But again, overall, not enough. Celtics with their 51st win of the season, 123-107 winners over Utah. Quick look at the standings to see if anybody else was eliminated. As right now, San Antonio in the West, Washington in the East are your only eliminated teams. Boston's lead is now 9.5 games over Milwaukee, 10 over Cleveland, 13 over New York, 14 over Orlando, 14.5 over Indiana for your top 6. 15 over Philly, 15.5 over Miami, 20 over Chicago, 21.5 over Atlanta, and Atlanta with the 3.5 game lead over Brooklyn. In the West, Oklahoma City and Denver are tied. Oklahoma City right now is listed as first, but both teams at 45 and 20. Just a half game back is Minnesota, 3.5 back is LA, 5.5 back is New Orleans, 7 back is Phoenix to round out your top 6. Sacramento is a half game back of Phoenix. Half game behind them is Dallas. A game and a half behind Dallas are the Lakers. A game behind the Lakers are your Golden State Warriors. 4.5 games back of the Warriors are those Rockets, as I mentioned earlier. So not completely out of it, but it's going to be close. Anywho, that is all for your sports for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you are appreciating the channel or liking the channel or it's actually doing you any benefit, please definitely leave a like below. And I'll see you next time. And this will be the last time we do this kind of closeout where we just fade it out. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Have a great day.